Hi guys, welcome back to another reaction video and thoughts here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch the second to last episode of this second season of Made in Abyss, episode 11. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me, and keep going on following me till the end of this second season, plus many other adventures coming on the channel. Okay, in the previous episode we saw Faputa's desperation, and we even saw the fact that now she seems to attack Reg. So let's see what's going to happen today. Are you ready to join me with these? Check it out. What's going on to Riko now? Oh no, there was an explosion? No F way! What happened? Oh no. No, wait, but they didn't show us anything. I mean, he was attacked, but... It's not Riko's fault. She's jealous of Riko. No, but Nanachi is going to come and stop them, right? Oh my no! Gabu! In fact, it's like a rag gun. Because she has to join, and if she's killing them, she can't join and go ahead with them. Fabu? It was not Gabu. No, I think Riko will not do that. No way. No, because it's her nature to be like that. Until... Oh my! What's that? That's Belaf. What's left of Belaf? Because Nanachi is here. That's Nanachi, right? Oh, yes! I was waiting for this moment. Finally, it's here. So, Nanachi has a Belaf in... Whoa! So she can control Belaf's body that is left thanks to that? Oh, yes! Ah no, Belaf is still alive. I mean... Wow! Exactly, because of Belaf. Yes. But he repented himself. Fa puta. Oh, what's that? Okay, what's that? A lot. What's the gift? Of course, she couldn't see these images. I mean, these things. Hmm. That's your mom. Yeah. So Belaf is destroyed by now. I mean, that's her mom's will, right? It was better that Belaf ended his existence like that. No, don't do that. Wow, Nanachi is so strong. Come on, Fabuta. Oh yeah. More, Nanachi can understand her more than anybody else. Eh, exactly. It was all because of Avazukian. Yeah. I hope not. Uh-huh. Ah, no, I hope it's not going to happen, sincerely. Yeah. No F way, okay? I hope that this is not going to happen at all. No, no. At this point, I agree with you. No, I hope it's not. Exactly. Here we go again. Yeah, but look at that. He lost himself. What? She has to save a Weko now. Yeah, but you can be a fire of something else. No, it's not true, Faputa. Let's find something else. Something else that you can protect. Oh. Oh, no F way. No, if he goes outside, it's going to disappear. No, in fact, these are coming from outside of the village. Exactly. Oh no, this is the creature like at the beginning, yes. Yeah. So now the membrane doesn't exist anymore? And if it's like that, I mean, if that's the case, they are not affected? Or it's just a thanks to the membrane that it's dissolving, let's say that the creatures can go inside. Yeah, because the creatures can go inside the village, but they can't go out, of course, but... Oh... And maybe with this excuse, she can save all of them, right? No, you have to find the other reason to leave and go ahead, Faputa. Because if you leave it just because of revenge, your existence is so poor. If you follow what Reg told you, that means go on adventures. No, that's not true. Your mother's wish was probably something else. So that means create your own adventure. Oh my! Oh yeah, fortunately she's immortal, so she can be regenerated, but... What the... Oh my... I see? No, 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 don't say it like that. That's not true. You have another reason to exist now. Yeah, because you, by eating her mom, you feel sad. No, it's just the contrary of everything that happened to your mom. I mean, now you have the ability to be infinite, to be immortal, so you can go ahead with what your mom couldn't do. And they saved you, but by saving you, it was not meaningless. Think about it. Oh no, look now Rico, Reg and Nanachi have to save her. Or maybe the inhabitants of the village can save her. Who was that? Oh my. No, you did something good. Oh no, it's like at that time when Gabo was injured that Fabuta was crying, so maybe Rega can remember now and come back and save her. Yeah. Oh no, no, no. Oh my. Why Fabuta has to suffer like that? Look. Oh no. Come on, something has to happen now. Reg, wake up and save her. No! What? Maybe Nanachi can cure her. No, that's not true. They saved her, y'all. And I think that they saved her because they feel the sadness. Yeah, because your mother created you, not because of that. Oh my god, I mean, she is eating part of them. That is what happened when they were eating her mom. I mean, everything is going back to origin here. Exactly. Yeah. If you eat them, you can remember things from your mom's memories, maybe? That's the most important thing. Oh, yes. Exactly. There's value over there, too. Oh, no. Come on, I think that now Faputa will help them. See? Okay, so what's the value that she decided? Yeah. Exactly. So... Ooh. And maybe you will find it later. What? Okay, guys, another great episode finished. Look, I like this story because until you finish a saga, I mean, until you finish a part of this story, you don't understand the real meaning of it. I mean, you don't understand the last words or the last things that are making you understand the real purpose of what these characters want to reach or have to reach. I wanted to analyze step by step all the things because I think that by following it step by step, it's like a path. The steps that you're taking are taking you to the end, to the purpose of what the author wants to tell you. So at the beginning of this episode, you saw that, of course, Reg seems to be gone, or anyway, was defeated by Faputa. But at the same time, as much as I was telling you in previous episodes, you could understand that Faputa is jealous of Riko because she's seeing Riko as the one who stole Reg from her, the one who couldn't let Reg go back as before. And if at the beginning, when Reg was talking to Faputa about this Haku and this great immense power that he or she can have, and the way in which even Haku can save her, etc., etc., maybe Faputa was believing that this could work, it was a sort of hope, and she could believe in this thing. But as soon as she saw that Reg, because of the ascending of the abyss, and because he had to find Riko, that is Haku for him, she saw that Reg is different now, that he can't remember, and that's why she feels that Riko is the culprit of everything, because it's because he had to reach her that Reg is no more the Reg that she knows. And that's why, even in this episode, you can explore Faputa's feelings deep inside her heart, and they are so well explained because we passed from anger to redemption to a new solution to a new Faputa. So it's like as if in this episode you see the end of a certain Faputa and the beginning of a new one. I could feel that she's so jealous of Riko because of this, because it's like as if she stole her Reg and she stole one of her Haku. I really like the way in which Faputa is interacting with Riko, because she's describing all the anger she has towards her, and even the way in which Riko is looking at her, and the way in which Faputa is looking at her. This contrast is super amazing, because from Riko's point of view, she did all her best to reach her goal, that is the bottom of the abyss, and she would have never imagined to be a burden to her, to Faputa I mean. And on the other side, Faputa sees in her all evil things. So it's this huge contrast that is creating even the perfect balance. Because the end of all this means quite a lot. And if Riko can be the way to let Faputa reach this new herself, that's so amazing. And at the end of the day, Faputa will thank Riko, because it's thanks to Riko that is the personification of the adventure, of exploring, that she will find her new value. And at the same time, she really feels betrayed more and more by this interference unit that is confronting Faputa by protecting Riko instead. If at the beginning she feels betrayed by that, because she is also saying, why are you protecting her? You're supposed to protect me. But the answer of the interference unit, when he's saying, no, look, actually I'm protecting you because I'm protecting your future. If you eliminate Riko, if you eliminate Reg, there's no future for you. There's no way to go ahead. And maybe if I didn't protect Rico, these adventures you have to take in the future are not happening. She doesn't understand these. And she doesn't understand that what they are all doing is to try to save her, because they don't want her loss. They don't want her to fail, but they want her to restart. And that's something beautiful, because in this moment Faputa has her eyes blind. She doesn't understand her purpose anymore. I mean, she knows that, but is that the real one? Later we discover that no, that was not the real purpose of her existence. But when you have your eyes blind, you're not seeing the real things. And you definitely need to confront, to face what you have to discover. And your eyes are not keep being blind, so that you can make a great step forward. This is something beautiful, because even in philosophy they are always analyzing this concept of the veil of Maya, for example, or even this disclosure to discover, like Plato, when he is analyzing this Plato's cave, that is super important as a concept, that is, you are blind because you see just what you want to see. You don't step forward, you don't go beyond the things you think that you're seeing, and the things that you think that they are clear to you, but they are simply not. Even in this episode, you see that we are inside a sort of cave, right? And that makes you understand that the more you keep staying inside of the cave, the more you're surrounded by dark feelings, the more you can't see your real purpose, what you're really have to confront, that is going outside and explore the unknown, right? So I think that this was really brilliant. It was depicted in such an amazing way, because Faputa needs to disclose herself, to open herself more in order to reach what her mother really wanted for her. So I really liked these moments, because you confront a Faputa that is going ahead just for the things that she thinks that they are right. And in fact, she's pretty presumptuous in this episode. But this way to be presumptuous, then it's cleaned by everything that is happening later. She was starting being aggressive, violent, presumptuous, and stubborn. But then all the things that are happening later are changing her drastically, because she was so convinced of what she was doing that she couldn't even understand that she was making a huge mistake, because she thought that everything that she was doing was just following what her mother wanted to tell her to do, but she didn't focus on what her mother was and what her mother's intentions were. No matter what happened later, I mean, no matter what the others were doing on her, but the most important thing was her mother's will, and to discover this side of her mom that was impossible to understand if it was not for Belaf. So even in this case, I wanted to thank Belaf somehow, because if at the beginning I was having this bad impression of him, I have to say that I was wrong. And even if I was saying, even in the previous episode, that I was thankful to him because he could redeem himself, he could understand his mistakes, and he could create a sort of new mission before the end of his existence. In this episode, everything was clearer than before, and you could understand that Belaf's real final mission was to keep Nanachi under this spell, so Nanachi could grant all his memories, because of the fact that he could see that Nanachi was different, that Nanachi was something else, and he was also praising her, but now we understand that more and more why he appreciated Nanachi so much, because it's a thanks to the relationship that he had with Mitty, that she had with Mitty, because in my opinion Nanachi is a girl, that Belaf could understand, okay, I can trust this one, I can trust this hollow, because this hollow child is totally different from what we were. In our case, we were taking an advantage on Irumyuui, but in the case of Nanachi, she doesn't want to take an advantage on others. She wants to save her friends, but at the same time, she wants to save the relationship that she's having with Mitty, and she's treasuring this relationship so much that it's something that we didn't do instead. We were just feeding ourselves of Irumyuui because we were selfish enough to think that our lives were more important than the life of Irumyuui. We are punishing ourselves, or I'm punishing myself because of that, but now that I found someone that is different, the most beautiful thing is to grant this hollow child all the power that I have in order to redeem myself and to do something good this time. So I think what Belaf did was something great, because by using Nanachi and by giving her all the best that he could definitely move on with his existence. He could lose his final form, and by doing this, he could grant Nanachi the most important power, that is to help this time Faputa to regain the unknown things, so she can be definitely better than whatever was in that village. I really like the fact that Nanachi was chosen because of what I told you in the previous episode. I think that Nanachi, more than anybody else, can understand Faputa, can understand the anger, the will to avenge, and the way to protect by becoming the evil thing. Because even Nanachi felt always guilty because of what happened to Mitty. And she was really angry towards Bondorudo because Bondorudo used them. At the same time, Nanachi really wanted to avenge Mitty's destiny by confronting Bondorudo. But after all these experiences, Nanachi understood that there's no place for all these mixed evil feelings. That Nanachi, in order to make Mitty happy again, has to move on, has to find herself and not being attached to her all the times. And we saw it even in the previous episode when she was departing from her. I mean, Nanachi was departing from Mitty because she was honest with herself, and she said, look, my mission is not finished yet. I still have many other things to do. Now I have to go and save my friends, and I have to go ahead because by meeting new people, I found my other value, I found my other mission. So Nanachi can definitely understand Faputa more than anybody else, and I'm so happy for that. Because by doing this, I mean by trying to help the princess to clear her eyes and see new things, and by seeing these new things to move on, that even the Nanachi could understand, yeah, my mission was not finished yet. I still had many other things to do. I still had to help many other people. And if I was stuck in that place together with Mitty over and over and over again, I couldn't have had the possibility to move on. And who do we have to thank about this? Riko. So, as you can see, Riko is an essential part of this story, and it's the Haku not just for Reg. I don't think it's the Haku not just for Nanachi, but I think it's the Haku of the Abyss at this point, because throughout Riko's adventure, we can see how many people she helped throughout this adventure, and she still has to help, I guess. That it's marvelous. This human child that can give humanity to all the creatures who lost humanity. Don't you think? I think this is simply marvelous, and I wanted to thank the author of this story, because no matter how crazy he is, by depicting this story and by giving us all these mixed feelings and disgusting moments, you understand that even in a story like this, no matter the point you reach of disgusting moments or sadness or rejoy or repentment, resentment, and even the deepest disgusting feelings or emotions you can reach, you don't have to forget that there is still humanity over there. There is these human feelings that you can't erase, you can't deny. And how can you do something like this, or how can you remind yourself something like this, is because no matter how these creatures were transformed, the core of their souls is still there and has to be released or unleashed by something human. So if Riko was not there, nothing of this would have been possible, not even by Reg's presence, because Reg, by being in touch with Riko, he could explore the human feelings that he had lost, because he was transformed into an interference unit. But by staying next to Riko all this time, he could develop this human side that he probably have lost, as much as all the other characters. Even Ozen, look, I give you just a small example, but even Ozen was losing her humanity until she met Riko, and she could regain even a small percent, okay, of her humanity, but she could. So it's like as if Riko is a sort of enlightenment, and I think that that's why Riko has blonde hair. Not, I don't think it's just a coincidence. It's just that Riko resembles light. She embodies this enlightenment that can happen the more you're digging inside the abyss, the more you're digging inside darkness. And that's why Riko is super essential in all these adventures that they're having, and it's still the hope that they can still climb up the abyss to narrate everything they could have experienced. That's what I really believe, and I really hope that it's happening. So that's why I'm saying that Riko is a hope even for Faputa. And even if Faputa now is against it and she doesn't understand it, I think that even in the last episode we will watch later, you can see this evolution in Faputa so much that she will understand that probably her real Haku is not Reg but Riko, because it will be thanks to Riko that she will have a second chance and she will be able to start something new. And why Riko can become even Faputa's real Haku is because of her mom's will. I mean, it's because of what Hiromiui really wanted for her by creating her, that she pushed so hard all her efforts to create her, because it was like having a new chance, a second chance, a missing chance that now is not missed, that now it's able to be fulfilled. So I really believe that Faputa will get along with Riko more than we expect, and these new adventures coming will be priceless and darker. I really believe so, guys. I think that the more we are reaching the bottom of the abyss, the more things will get darker. But it's good that it's like this, because we are digging the abyss, and if we have to enlight the darkest places, we have to reach them, and we don't have to be scared of reaching them, because until we have this light of hope, and until we can keep being human as much as we can, we are not afraid to face darkness. We are not afraid to dig inside ourselves and discover more about what we are. If we are sure that we are still human and we can still feel. That's something that darkness can't erase. And that's why Rico will help even at the bottom of the abyss. And if there is a chance to meet this mentor of Reg, then probably it's not Liza at this point. I really want to know if maybe Rico have the chance to meet the creator of the abyss and to have a dialogue with this creator, to understand that maybe Rico was coming down the abyss because the purpose was, the purpose of the creator of the abyss was this. At this point, I really believe that the abyss was created on purpose, that there is a mission that has to be fulfilled, and maybe this abyss was created because the creator wanted to put inside the abyss all the evil things, and maybe to let people, or what the people were, darker, or to let these people experience the darkest things, to see if there is something that can bring them back to humanity. It's like a test, okay? So I really wonder, and I really can't wait to see these moments happening for sure later, maybe when we will reach the bottom of the abyss and we will reach the creator, because we needed to understand why Rico was chosen. And I already told you my opinion about this, but is there another option? Is there another reason why Rico was chosen? And let me tell you honestly, when the other Hollows are asking Rico, please use Prushka again, and Prushka was not responding, I don't think that it's just because she's drained right now. I think that maybe even Prushka doesn't want to attack, or doesn't want it to be useful for Rico to attack Faputa, because Faputa needs to join them. And if they are going to attack her, or they keep attacking her, she will never trust them. It's like a way as if even Prushka is still alive by choosing not to attack her, or not to help Rico to use her power to attack her, because it's a way to say, okay, no, look, I think now Faputa has to have a sort of redemption and needs a change. So if we attack her, it's pointless. I really appreciated this combination of Nanachi and Belaf. I think that Belaf found in Nanachi what he really hoped to find, as much as I was telling you, and at the same time, thanks to Nanachi's personality and everything that she has passed through, there was this perfect combination. If you have to erase your existence, it's better if the last thing you do is something good. By doing something good, I don't want to say that you erase automatically everything bad that you did, but it's the perfect ending to redeem yourself and to feel relieved. And in fact, you see that the purpose of Belaf was to collect all his memories, and to collect especially Irumiui's memories, maybe because by eating her, he could recollect everything or parts of her memories too, because everything is present inside of this village. I mean, Irumiui is the village, and the villagers are Irumiui too, because they ate her. So there is this presence that is like a circle. You are me and I am you. All these Belaf's memories that were conveyed to Nanachi too, but they are confronting Faputa now, are so great, because thanks to these memories you really understand what Irumiui was and why she became what she became. Was it because of her personal selfishness? I mean, because she has always wanted to be a mom, and the fact that she could accomplish this by creating this village that is like a womb, that it's connecting and collecting all of her creatures. By saying something like this, I want to say that Faputa was wrong throughout all that time, because now, thanks to these memories, you could see how Irumiui wanted to be a mama for everyone, wanted to protect everyone, especially Weko, because Weko was considered as Irumiui's mom, and you see how much Hiromiui took care of her, because the most important thing was the mother, in this case Ueko, that was protected by her daughter. That is the same thing that now Faputa is doing, actually. She wants to erase her mom and the village to protect her and to release her from all this pain, right? But at the same time, Faputa is understanding that it was Hiromiui's will to reach that point, that at the end of the day, nobody really forced her, no matter how Vasukian did and what Vasukian did. But Hiromiui decided her own destiny. So Faputa, by erasing all these and by being angry and vengeful, she's going against Hiromiui's will for real. And her real will was to create Faputa, to take her aside from the village. I mean, to put her aside from the village so she couldn't even enter that village on purpose, because Faputa is something else. As much as I was telling you in the previous episode, this way to repulse Faputa was made on purpose. That's why she couldn't even enter the village, because Hiromiui didn't want her to be part of it, because that was not Hiromiui's real will. Hiromiui's real will was to create Faputa, to create this immortal, beautiful being that was surpassing even herself, collecting inside this perfect being all the things that she couldn't do, all the hopes that she couldn't reach, and all the dreams that she couldn't make true. That's why she has to step away from everything that she is, because Hiromiui, by creating Faputa, also recognized her selfishness, because she created lots of creatures but they couldn't make it. So her selfishness to reproduce other creatures over and over and over again was creating this sick place that Faputa doesn't have to belong to, because Faputa is something really beautiful that Hiromiui doesn't want to consume her to inside herself. I think that this is so beautiful. That's what all mothers wish for their kids, to step away from what they were and from the mistakes they made, and to be the most beautiful representation, the most beautiful gift that they could have created. And all mothers wish that their kids are better than them, right? So I think that that's the same thing that it's happening here. Hiromiui wants that Faputa goes on her journeys and she creates her own adventures. She's independent of all the evil things that she has felt throughout all that time, and she's stepping forward. But in order to do so, she needs to find humanity back. She needs to find warm feelings that Hiromiui can't give her. Or actually, she can, but not as much as she's hoping for Faputa. She needs light, and that light is Riko. So I think that Hiromiui would have been so proud of her if she could reach Riko, that light, and she could hold Riko's hand and go ahead. Because there are so many things that Faputa still doesn't know, and the reason why she doesn't know all these things is because she was too blind. She was too focusing on something that didn't have anything to do with her. But now it's time to move forward. Now there's the chance to not be blind anymore and to discover the unknown, to discover all the things that she was missing, all the beautiful things that are beyond all this place. And wow, I feel amazed by even narrating these, because I really feel these episodes. They are really telling me lots of beautiful things. And that's why even Belaf is saying that's why probably Hiromiui didn't want to erase from me these memories, because maybe Hiromiui, was also waiting for the moment that someone was coming and change things. That there was even this hope that one day things would have been changed, and Faputa would have been released from all the pain she felt, from all these anger feelings that she could feel in order to reach something else thanks to others. And Belaf was playing a great role in these. So as you can see, the evil that can turn into something good, into something positive, that is always surrounded by this hope that things can change. And yeah, Irumyuui at the end of the day was a source of hope, because even the hollows inside of this village were hoping of a change, right? Even Vasukian himself was waiting for this hope. And I really liked even the moment in which Belaf was saying through the mind, through these memories, what Irumyuui really wanted for her. Because it's thanks to these words that are spread mentally through Faputa that Faputa is starting seeing a new vision of her existence. She is questioning herself for the first time. What was I doing? Did I do something good so far? Or everything that I did was just a waste of time, was just meaningless because the purpose that my mother wanted me to convey was something else, was something different. I really liked in this episode, the disillusion. Once again, we have this huge contrast of the illusion that Faputa had a mission, while actually the mission was something else. So the disillusion and the way in which this character is understanding that everything that she did so far was meaningless because she misunderstood the real meaning of her existence and the meaning of her destiny too. Because what Irumyuui wanted her to find was her own value, what she really cares, what she really wants to do. All these things don't have to be attached to Irumyuui necessarily, because she is an independent being. After all the mistakes Irumyuui made, and now her being, her creature, has to prove them wrong, has to prove her that she can go ahead and she can do something really beautiful after all these evil experiences. Come on, guys, it's like the usual metaphor that after a tempest, there is always the sun shining. And this is the perfect representation. And another thing that Nanachi was talking about was the things regarding Vasukian. And Belaf was warning Nanachi of Vasukian. I really appreciated that because Belaf started not trusting Vasukian at a certain point. And now we see even through Belaf's memories that Vasukian represented the temptation and even the way to be powerful by not knowing that you're not powerful. I mean, Vasukian had this great power to convince others and to let them believe that the more they were going on like that, the more they would have reached a certain knowledge. But this knowledge is compromising you. I mean, the way to reach power that is consuming you and is also consuming your actions, that it's the same thing, the same mistake that Faputa was doing, because this anger was making her blind, and this anger wanted to erase from Faputa the real meaning, the real purpose of her existence. So I think that Belaf experienced the same thing and didn't want Faputa to be consumed by all these feelings as much as he was experiencing throughout his existence. So I really like the fact that Belaf doesn't want Faputa to have the same destiny. The way in which he is doing this is by trying to save her and to go back to origins, to go back to what Irumyuui was, and at the same time to warn others from the main problem that is Vasukian. Because now we understand even what Vasukian wanted to do, because even if Nanachi is just guessing, but I think that she's guessing right, because all these guessings are coming from Belaf's thoughts or Belaf's beliefs. So I really trust Belaf, because Belaf was really next to Vasukian throughout all that time, and he couldn't imagine something wrong about him. So what he really tried to let Nanachi understand is that Vasukian is still selfish, is still wanting to create something that helps him to keep going on living and to keep reaching his real goals. And in order to do this, he needs to use Riko. I already talked to you about this even before, I guess. I think that when there was even that restaurant scene when Riko met Vasukian the first time, and even when Vasukian was talking to Reg later, I mean, I was having this feeling. I mean, I was having the feeling that Vasukian really wanted to use Riko to get out of that village and maybe to reach the bottom of the abyss in a certain way that I couldn't explain. But now Nanachi helped us understanding that maybe now that Faputa wants to regain Reg's trust, she can save Riko by giving a part of her, and if Riko is going to eat this part of Faputa, then maybe that part is even containing these cradles of desires, and the intention of Riko, of course, the dream of Riko is to reach the bottom of the abyss. So if she is getting in touch with this cradle of desire, the cradle of desire is making this dream of the owner, I mean the person who's eating it or is getting in touch with it, become true. So if she's touching this cradle of desire, we know that what Riko wants is to reach the bottom of the abyss and to keep going on with the adventure. That is more or less everything that Vasukian always wanted, right? Because he was stopping in the Golden City, but his main goal was to reach the bottom of the abyss, or to know as much as he could, right? Because this knowledge was a real temptation for him, and was something that was making him reach even the non-human side of himself. That's why I am totally against it, and I really believe that Nanachi will keep going ahead with her new mission, because see, now Nanachi, after everything that happened with Mitty since season 1, you know that she has so many missions right now. She had the mission in the movie to confront Mondoro and to defeat him somehow. She had now the mission to reach Faputa thanks to Belaf, and to talk to her or to understand her more. And I think that she will even in the last episode. But now the other mission that she has is to help Riko not getting in touch with this cradle of desire, or to help Vasukian not get in touch with Riko, or to help Vasukian to not be influenced by these desires that he has by using others. And in fact, Nanachi herself is saying later, look, I will not let Vasukian do something like this ever again. So I really like that Belaf decided to use Nanachi for this, because Belaf understood that Nanachi can really feel what he felt, and at the same time can understand the circumstances. By the way, Vasukian, I was right to say that we can't trust him, and I really couldn't trust him since the beginning. You really remember that from episode 1 I was saying that I didn't like him, and I don't like when he keeps using these kits for his own purpose, of course, because he can't touch the cradle of desire because it's not working, so he has to use kits. But how bad a person can be when he or she is using kits. I can't admit this. I can't stand when adults are using kits for their purposes, or when adults are using kits for their own satisfaction. This is something disgusting and something that I can't admit. That's why I don't like Vasukian. No matter the fact that probably Vasukian is possessed by this temptation, and maybe Vasukian at the beginning was not this bad guy, and in fact we saw that he was even protecting the other Hollows in the previous episode, and he's trying to steal Weko. I don't understand what he's trying to do right now. It's like as if his possession is becoming predominant and he can't even use reason anymore. And he's taking Weko away. And I think that this is really essential because Faputa finally will find the way to protect Weko, because now more than ever that she understood her mother's intentions and her mother's memories, she knows that Weko was an important part of Irumiui's heart, and she can't get rid of protecting her. So I think that that's what's going to happen in the last episode. Yeah, I think that Vasukian is losing his mind, and he's just pursuing these purpose, this goal that he has, but I don't understand if he is consumed by his own possession, by the abyss itself, or by these cradles of desires that are tempting him over and over again, or by the abyss itself. Yes, I wanted to repeat this. Maybe Vasukian was corrupted by the abyss itself, and now he can't go back as before because he reached a stage of what he is, that the only thing that he can do is to try to use others as much as he can, with good words, with good intention at surface, but then you understand that there's something wrong. And I'm really grateful because Nanachi is there and she will protect Riko as much as she's able to. So Vasukian will not be able to reach what he wants. But maybe, as much as for what happened to all these other Hollows that are now the shield of Nanachi, or they are like a sort of a mask. Yeah, she was using these Hollows that became a value for Nanachi as a shield or as a mask. I hope that Vasukian and all the others are becoming something like this. They can become like a protection for Riko, Nanachi, and Reg, and even Faputa that are trying to dig down the abyss. So all these Hollows are not losing the meaning of what they are. They are not losing their existence. But on the contrary, as much as for what Belaf was doing, instead of doing bad things, they are trying to do something good this time. And they are protecting all these people, or these, human child, hollow child, these interference unit, I mean, these creatures and human being, in the case of Riko, who descended the abyss, who tried to help them, because these hollows were helped by Riko. Don't you remember when Riko was together with the Magikaja and they were trying to escape from these creature coming from outside of the abyss, these queen, right? So if now the Hollows want to be propositive towards Riko and all the others, they can transform themselves into values, not just towards Faputa, I mean in the case of Faputa and what's happening at the end of the episode, but even by creating these protections that they need while descending the abyss, because the more we go down the abyss, the more we know that the difficulties are emerging, are increasing, so maybe they need a sort of a protection. And as much as Nanachi has her protection right now, they can create other protections. And I definitely think that Vasukian can reach the abyss once he will admit, as much as Belaf did, that they can't proceed as much as they want. They have to transform themselves into something good. So all the bad things that they did before can have a meaning, because at the end is something propositive. So all these bad actions that are turned into something good, to be relieved from everything that happened before. Even if it's not an excuse, it's anyway something better than keep doing the same things as before, right? Then there is a moment in which Faputa is analyzing this fire that she should have been. But I think, Faputa, that your fire is something else. Irumiui created you as a fire of hope that you can go ahead and you can be different. You can have your own journey and you don't depend on your mother's wishes, on your mother's past behavior. I mean, you're not stuck there, but you can cut the ties and be the fire of hope instead of being the fire of revenge. I really like that this theme of a fire was expressed in this second season multiple times. Do you remember this golden city that when they were descending these part of the abyss while reaching it, even the Ganja group was talking about this golden tone that they could see, and then we discovered that there are these great creatures, immense creatures holding this area of the abyss, that they were spreading fire. So this theme of the fire that is recurrent in this area of the abyss, but you see that while at the beginning we thought that this fire was even part of this iron rain that was reproduced as a fire descending, right? That was bringing something negative, that was killing the hollows. I mean, this fire that is always connected to something negative. No, at the end of this experience, this fire can be seen in a different way. The fire of hope, the fire that is still making you feel alive, like a fire that is burning, the soul. I mean, the fire usually, even in ancient cultures, or even in mythology, can be referred to the origin of what we are, our soul that can still be a fire in our life, that can keep going ahead, and a fire that is not erased until the soul is there. And I remember when they were talking about the hollows, and they were saying, look, their physical appearance is different, but the soul is still there. Yes, that's the fire I'm talking about. The fire that is not destroying, but it's creating. The fire that represents hope instead of revenge. The fire that is not harming you, but it's healing you. Something that is making this connotation of the fire something really different, a new concept that even Faputa has to explore now more than ever, and she doesn't have to be afraid of. I really like when part of Irumiui's will was that Faputa shouldn't feel fear of going ahead and shouldn't feel afraid to cut the ties and to start her own journey thanks to new adventures and thanks to these haku that she has to follow, as much as Irumiui at that time was following her haku that was Weko and her will to become a mom. So as you can see, and now Faputa has this fire inside herself that is guiding her to what she really wanted, that is creating new adventures with her haku, that is Reg. So she doesn't have to betray her will by being corrupted or by being consumed by revenge. And I really liked this contrast inside of Faputa, because now she has this epiphany of recognition. She has this moment in which everything is becoming bright inside her heart, and even if at the beginning she doesn't want to confront this because she's scared, because she doesn't want to admit the truth, little by little in this episode everything is confirming her that her new journey is the right one, and what she has always believed before was just a misunderstanding. And in fact, the more she's recognizing these, the more she's understanding that her duty was not that. Even when she's confronting these creatures coming inside that area of the abyss that was supposed to be protected by this membrane, but now this membrane is over, she's saying to these creatures, why are you stealing my duty? Why are you eating these olives when I was supposed to destroy and eat them? I mean, that's already the first step of recognition and the disillusion, when she didn't want to admit to herself that she was not born because of that. Irumyuui didn't want to give her birth because she had to revenge her, but because she had to go ahead by doing the things that Irumyuui couldn't do, because she was too selfish enough to pretend to be what she was not supposed to be. It's not easy for me to explain what I'm talking about, but Irumyuui, by willing to become a mom and by wanting to help all of the villagers, because Irumyuui in one of these flashbacks is even saying to Belaf that she's considering Belaf a son. This will to become a mom that was corrupting her soul so much. Yeah, that's something that she doesn't want for Faputa. And now if Faputa stays over there and she keeps thinking something like this, she's also thinking wrongly, especially after being used by others, especially after Irumyuui changed her form, physically speaking. Irumyuui was there feeling pain in order to create the most beautiful daughter that she could create, because that daughter should have been different. At the same time, guys, we see that the Hollows are feeling sad for Faputa, because Faputa now is attacked by these creatures and she is losing little by little her existence, or what she was before, right? So these Hollows that are feeling sad are surprised that they are feeling sad. But they are feeling sad because anyway, even these Hollows are containing inside what they are a part of Irumyuui, because by eating Irumyuui, they became a part of Irumyuui too, and they became Irumyuui somehow. So that's why they feel sad, because it's like as if Irumyuui inside all these Hollows are seeing that Faputa is sad, that Faputa is consumed by these creatures, that is attacked by them, and they don't want her to disappear. And that's why Irumyuui created this immortal creature, because Irumyuui, by losing all these children, she wanted a being that didn't lose her life, that didn't lose what she was, and that's why she's immortal. And she's immortal not because she has to avenge her mama, but she's immortal because Irumyuui wanted an immortal child, because she lost so many children that this time had to be the one that could survive, the one that could keep going ahead through the journey that she couldn't make, that she couldn't end. And at the same time, while Faputa is attacked by these creatures coming inside, coming through this area of the abyss, you see that the missing children, I mean the children that couldn't make of Irumyuui, are protecting her. And this is a part of Irumyui's will to protect her, because she has to survive and she has to go on her adventures. Something that Irumyuui couldn't do anymore. That's why Irumyuui, that is the village, thanks to these missing children, I mean lost children, is telling her, look, I'm protecting you still. And I'm protecting you because you have to move on. You don't have to avenge me. You have to go ahead. Then, guys, another thing that I really liked was the moment in which Gabu had to say goodbye to Faputa. I think that that moment was simply amazing, because no matter if Gabu was a robotic interference unit, it's like as if for a second you could see his humanity, the way in which they are separating, even when Gabu is turning off. That's a way to tell Faputa that that chapter is off and now she has to move on. I know that for Faputa this was really painful, because Faputa has always been surrounded by Gabu, and Gabu had to protect her. And this means that now she feels lonely, because she lost even the one who were supposed to stay with her forever, right? But at the same time, I think that this loss is meaningful, because it's thanks to this loss that Faputa can go ahead and can restart. If Gabu would have been still alive, I think that Faputa would have never joined Riko, Reg and Nanachi. So I think that sometimes these losses are useful for the character to close a chapter and start a new one. Even if it was really, really sad, because actually Gabu is saying that he is regretting that he will not be able to see what her future will be, but he contributed to be the first step for Faputa's new journey. So I think that this is already a great thing, because if Gabu didn't protect Riko, he would have failed, because he knew that Riko could have been a hope for Faputa. So I think that even when he's saying that he's thanking Faputa for all the days that they spent together, I think that that was really beautiful, because Gabu is an interference unit. That means that he's a robotic figure that was always super curious of other creatures and other things to learn. So maybe he learned this humanity even from Faputa, because Faputa, no matter the fact that she's the princess of all the hollows, she has inside her soul a human side. Because Irumyuui was a human being before turned into what she was turned into. So I think that, as you can see, this humanity, that even if it's just a 5%, it's still there. It's a part of the abyss anyway. And it's a consequence of what the Abyss is going to become, because the Abyss, guys, from the beginning of this story is changing. And it's changing because of the events that are happening in the Abyss. And these events are going ahead thanks to human beings that were transformed into hollows, or thanks to a human child, like in the case of Riko, who is descending the Abyss. So humanity that can transform, thanks to events, some places, some environments, right? I think that even Gabu was transformed by getting in touch with Faputa, who is Irumyuui's daughter. That makes you understand that Faputa is a human being, or anyway, is having a human side inside herself, because she derives from a human being. She couldn't do anything to save him at this time. There was not Reg coming, and that was pretty sad. When Faputa is almost gone, because this creature that is ruling that area of the Abyss is attacking her directly, even in that moment when you see the eye of Faputa that is almost crying because she thinks that now everything is over, it's like as if she didn't want to admit it to herself that actually she had many other things to do. And if you remember the flashback of Reg, when she was really happy when Reg said, "Next time I'll come back, I will take you to many other adventures and we will always be together." In that moment, Faputa was making a face of joy, a face of happiness that made you understand that she really wanted to go to these adventures together with Reg, right? So her revenge was not the only thing that she had as a mission in her life, and this already is debunking the fact that she thought that her only mission was that. But yeah, when you see that eye that is crying because this creature is attacking her and nothing or nobody can come over there to help her, you see the fear of losing that life, of losing that existence, because it's like as if she's thinking that she had something else to do and she was losing that chance, right? Later you see these hollows that are helping her by giving her part of themselves. Look, it's like as if everything is going back to origin, because they were eating Irumyuui and now they are eaten by Faputa, who is Irumyuui's daughter. It's like as if even the hollows wanted to give her back what was hers. That means her mom. It's like as if these hollows are repenting of what they did, and now they had the only chance to redeem themselves by giving her part of them. That actually it was not what they were, but it was something that they have stolen from something else, that is Irumyuui. This concept is so beautiful, guys. It's like as if they wanted to give her back what was part of her, what was hers. And by doing that, they said, please let us become your value, because what we are is what you also are. The source is the same. There's Irumyuui inside of you, and there is Irumyuui inside of us too. So we can recreate, thanks to this value, somehow we can recreate Irumyuui. Because now all the pieces are together, they are matching. And even if Irumyuui can't come back as what she was before, it's a way to bring Irumyuui back. And how can we help you is to give you this power and to give you this value. That is the same thing, guys, that happened to Nanachi. As much as I was telling you before, they are becoming this protection, in the case of Nanachi, as a mask or a shield or whatsoever. In the case of Faputa, they are becoming these white souls, white undefinite creatures that you see surrounding her now, that they are not black, they are white. And white is hope, as much as that light that Faputa is seeing beyond this sort of cave. This way to say, we can restart now. And Irumyuui now is inside of you more than ever, because we are Irumyuui too. We were eating her, so she was saving us at that time, and now it's our time to save you. This was super amazing. I really loved the choice of the author to do something like this, because everything goes back to the source. And now Irumyuui can live even through Faputa. And Faputa can have this huge value, can take Irumyuui together with her in all her adventures. So it's like as if even Irumyuui doesn't have to perish, doesn't have to vanish with the village, because she is already transferred somewhere else. She has gone inside her daughter. And wow, that's so beautiful. And I really liked even the choice of these hollows to do what they did, because they were not selfish enough this time to take care of their existence only, but they were humble enough to recognize that the source was Faputa and they had to go back to her. And they were kind, as much as Irumyuui was. They are representing what Irumyuui was. Kind, not selfish anymore, to think more about the others instead of herself. So that's Irumyuui. And Faputa can sense them, can smell, as much as she was smelling that Belaf was her mom because he hated her. In this case, she can be surrounded by her mom thanks to these hollows. And that was super beautiful. And she became now this other creature that doesn't seem Faputa anymore as much as before, right? But it's different. She's white and she's not surrounded by these evil and anger feelings as much as before, right? And yes, the light outside, guys, the light that can help Faputa recognize or know what she couldn't know before. By looking at that light, she can see the unknown. And the discovery of the unknown is always mystic, is always marvelous, and it's unknown, yeah, until you reach it. In fact, she's saying that she doesn't know the Reg of Now. She didn't know her mom's intentions till now. She doesn't know what's awaiting for her, but it's there. She can go. The most important thing is that she doesn't have to be afraid to reach the unknown. She doesn't have to be afraid of the adventures coming, because she is powerful. She has experienced so many negative things that now she can be stronger than before. And she's not alone, because her mom is next to her in all the things that she will do. And that light of the unknown is what's missing in her existence. So she has to reach it in order to feel completed. because she's already immortal, but by being immortal, that doesn't mean that you have everything, that you know everything about yourself, and that you have experienced everything. It's just the amount of time that you have, and by being immortal, she can have all the time she wants. So these adventures coming are the missing part of herself. And I really liked that thing. Of course, I really liked the metaphor that you have to go out from the cave. I mean, you have to go out from your cocoon, from your comfort zone, in order to become better, in order to change as much as Reg did. So she will understand Reg more than ever, because Reg experienced lots of adventures that modified him, that changed him. And now it's her turn. Because at the beginning, she was easily judging Reg because she didn't know. She was too blind. Now she has the opportunity to experience the change and to see that that's possible. If she really wants, that's possible. And then, guys, at the end of the episode, we see that Faputa now has something in her eyes. That is, guys, almost the thing that Reg has on his casket here when he is using the incinerator, or anyway, it's like as if she has something robotic inside her eye, as if she is controlling, as if she's a machine or something. I don't know if that's because she could gain even something from Gabu, or she became an interference unit. Now I'm saying something stupid, but Faputa's Haku is Reg, right? So it's like as if she became an interference unit, that is the usual thing that interference units do, that is protecting others, and in this case protecting Reg. Or is she going to rescue Weko now? I really hope that, because Weko was an essential part of her mom's life, and she has to do this. I mean, she has to protect the person who hated her mother first. That's something incredible, right? But now things changed. Now Faputa has another vision of the story, so she can't refrain herself from helping her. But these red light that is appearing inside Faputa's eyes, that reminds me of Reg's casket. Does this mean that we still have to discover many other things that we still don't know about her existence? Does this mean that there is still something untold about Reg, his provenience and whatsoever? We don't know, but we will understand this for sure, I hope. In the last episode of Made in Abyss, it will be double, because it will be 2 episodes in one. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Thank you for joining me in this episode too, and see you next time with the end of this immense and incredible second season of Made in Abyss. Waiting for number 3, waiting for season 3, but we have to wait a little bit, actually. Thank you so much for the support. Keep subscribing to the channel, and see you in the next video.